The Dublin team looks solid and well balanced. Peter Kelly and Liam Rush man the key defensive roles, while Johnny McCaffrey and Joey Boland have gelled really well at centre field. It's a strong Galway starting 15 with Iarla Tanyan now partnered by James Regan in a crucial area of centre field. Shane Kavanagh is back at centre back, while Fergal Moore is once again the team captain. Season he had last year. Down towards Joe Canning, pulled back by Dublin full-back Peter Kelly. Taking the free himself, Joe Canning, first score of the game. Free taken by Gary Maguire from Ballyboden St Enda's. First real testing ball for the Galway defence. Centre half back there is Shane Kavanagh. Johnny Cohen again is sweeping up behind the full back line. There's a bit of a All-Ireland college medalist with Dublin colleges. Intent on adding to his medal collection. Back for us, Joseph Cooney. Sprays the ball over this right wing. Just about getting there was Conor Cooney. Going back to gather it is Peter Kelly. Hand passes across far as Niall Corcoran. For many years now playing his club hurling with Kilmacud Crooks. Out far as Joey Boland, who delivers it long. 3 against 2 up here. The ball falls far as Dotsy. O'Callaghan, and O'Callaghan from that distance rarely misses. Good play, Dublin.
Well, a long hopeful ball there from the right wing from Joey Boland, and Joseph Cooney back in the top of Fergal Moore instead of just waiting for the break, and a nice smart point by Dotsy.
Under composure.
Well, they are, Marty. They've just 5 forwards, and David Tracy had options on the right-hand side there. Conal Keaney had moved across and went for the speculative shot, and I think they need to keep the game in play. Get as many balls as you can into Dotsy O'Callaghan. That should be the way forward.
Long puck out by James Skehill, gathered here by Conor Cooney, challenged by Michael Carton, and Cooney! That's a really good score. Seems to love Croke Park since winning the All-Ireland club title here last St Patrick's Day.
Well, that was a good response from Galway there. Just a breaking ball. Cooney was onto it in a flash and straight over the bar.
Sides level for the second time. Puck out is aimed at Rhino Dwyer. Ball comes down for us David Burke. Hit a fair shoulder, lays it off for us his clubmate and county mate James Regan. Diagonal ball over towards Joe Canning. And that ball is hit very much to the left and wide. Galway found themselves under pressure, but Iarla Tanyan left it behind him. Conal Keaney is there, he's fouled in his pursuit of the ball.
Side and unleashes out of the danger area.
Here's Paul Ryan. He went for it, and it's on the goal line. Coming out with it is Shane Kavanagh. That's a bit of a surprise at this early stage. Perhaps a better option would be to simply take a point. Joey Boland drives it in very high, but also, I'm afraid, from his by John McCaffrey comes out as Tanyan, and Tanyan turns away, knowing full well that the white flag will be raised. More than makes up for dothering with the ball down at the other end. He wasn't punished for it, but this is a really superb effort by Tanyan.
Yeah, well, that'll settle him down, Marty. He'll be very conscious of, of handing them the chance down there, and as you said, of dithering around.
Harry Maguire batted away. Niall Corcoran tries to get there ahead of Niall Burke. It's Burke that's coming away with it. Well marshaled by Niall Corcoran. Into the centre to Conor Cooney. He's looking strong. He's looking as if he knows where the goalposts are, but on this occasion...
And maybe, I saw it penalised last night in Nolan Park, and that's another penalisation there.
Cleared into the centre, but Joey Boland and Iarla Tanyan missed it. Tanyan gives a fair shoulder. Back comes Stephen Heine. Played well in the replay against Kilkenny. That's going to be a free for Dublin inside their own half of the field.
Yeah, and Conal Keaney is dropping back a lot. We see the little tip there, right, and free to Dublin. Conal Keaney went through the tackle, but that was unnecessary there from Galway, because Johnny Cohen was free, and if Joseph Cooney had just knocked it back to him, he could have picked someone out. Cooney just struck the ball away without looking where it was going, and Keaney picked up the break. So Dublin will be pleased. Both teams, only 10 minutes gone, Marty. Both teams are feeling each other out at this stage.
Joey Boland taking this free. Scored 9 points against Kilkenny in the drawn match. This is a really dangerous ball. It's pulled on! First time. And it flew over the crossbar off the stick of Dotsy O'Callaghan. The high dropping ball posing problems for Galway here.
Yeah, and they haven't been dealing that well. I mean, Dotsy O'Callaghan was left inside the defender there,
Good defending on this occasion by Shane Campbell. And Joe Canning is winning every 50-50 ball. And he's scoring. It's his second point of the game.
Well, just a speculative lob there, if you like, into Joe, and he went up very high for it. Got in front of Peter Kelly on an excellent point. Didn't hit it that well, but it made its target.
Batted down for David Burke. The ball was aimed at David. Stopped on this occasion by Joseph Cooney. Flicks it on quickly for Joe Canning. And that is a mighty puck of a ball. It could still pose problems for Dublin. Cyril Donlan. Conal Keaney lays it off quickly. Farrell's Ryan out of wire. And that is over the crossbar. Quick hands by Keaney. Fine score by Ryan O'Dwyer.
Now an excellent little quick pass there by Keaney. Knew exactly what he was doing. Saw Ryan O'Dwyer free on his left. But that all came from David Collins being a little bit naive, not up to the pace of Championship Hurling. Took his time going across the field and was dispossessed, but a great score by Dublin.
Liam Rush getting there ahead of Conor Cooney on this occasion. Lays it back for his Niall Corcoran. Changes the direction by sending it over towards the Cusack stand. Conal Keaney and Joseph Cooney battling it out. Back there is Shane Kavanagh, playing well at 6. Gives it to Cooney. Goes for distance. Dropping it in around the house. Niall Burke is in there. Good defending by fullback Peter Kelly on this occasion. Niall Corcoran lays it off into the centre. Waiting for it is Michael Carton, who drives it into the Galway half of the field. Ryan O'Dwyer and Kavanagh. Interesting tussle. The effort by Danny Sutcliffe didn't work. Johnny Cohen gives it for Azir Latanya, who drives it in towards Gary Maguire's goal. Quick hands again from left half back Michael Carton. Far as Paul Schutte. Down to an attack that is getting plenty of ball, but what about that for a score? Paul Ryan's third point of the game and his first from play.
That was a lovely work move there by Dublin. Just moved the ball, from person to person down the wing and put in invitingly there for Paul Ryan, and a lovely turn and beautiful point.
Gathering here is Niall Burke towards David Burke. No relation. One is Oranmore Marie, the other one is St. Thomas's. But not far away from each other in South Galway. Stephen Heine into the centre. Not a good idea. Galway in counter-attack mode. Spraying the ball over for us, James Regan. Steps inside. That's wonderful defending by Danny Sutcliffe. Anticipated and read the situation well. Good ball again down towards the Dublin full forward line. Paul Ryan this time on his left-hand side. Skell was waiting for it, but he should have gone for it, but it's because Dotsy O'Callaghan was hovering, and it's O'Callaghan doing a lot of hard work into the centre towards Conal Keaney, and that's over the bar. Brilliant play by Dublin. They're chasing absolutely everything.
Now they're now going 3 points up, Marty, and a fine score again, but that ball was coming across the scale. The cornerback Fergal Moore should have just made sure that Dotsy O'Callaghan was impeded. Ball stayed in play, and a great point by Keaney.
Dublin are launching them one after the other. Here's Joey Boland, growing in confidence, playing powerfully in the middle of the field and getting his first point in the Leinster final. It's impressive play by the Dubs.
Well, Galway won the toss, as we said, and played against the breeze, but at this stage now, we take command of his goal mode area as well. Any balls that are dropping in at that, he should be coming out and getting them rather than leaving to his defence. There's too much uncertainty there at the present.
Good ball inside for Dotsy O'Callaghan, who's proving quite a handful, and that is his third point of the game. That's Dublin's 9th point of the match so far, 8 from play.
what? Great catch there, right, and great ball in, and Dotsy knocked it over the bar. It's a system that Paul Schutte is dropping way back, and Johnny Cohen has gone away back.
Trying to get away from the shackles of Shane Kavanagh. Kevin Hines does the cleaning up. Comes out for us James Regan. Sent powerfully and accurately. That's a really, really good score from the Galway midfielder.
Yeah, well, Joe Canning has moved out centre forward now and just popped the ball to James Regan, and Galway needed that. 4 points between them, but I think Galway will have to come to grips with right back.
The ball comes out for us John McCaffrey, and that is a captain on the top of his game. Just grabbed the opportunity, looked at the goalposts. Anthony Daly, well pleased.
Great score again there by Johnny McCaffrey, and each of the Dublin midfielders has scored, and 4 of their forwards. The only 2 who haven't are David Tracy and Danny Sutcliffe, who are doing working areas, but Galway are finding the going tough.
Michael Carton sending it down. That's well won by Keeney. Lovely layoff for us David Tracy. Stumbled just a little bit. Johnny Cohen comes in to put the pressure on. Oh, lovely stick work by Tracy. He's lost a hurl. He hits it. Oh, that would have been a sensational. Sutcliffe is changing wings from left half forward to right half forward. Joey Boland. There's nobody really home, and James Skehill comes out, lays it over first Fergal Moore, and Fergal Moore is fouled with a high challenge. Smith about to get his first touch in this Leinster final. Controls the ball well, turns around, looks for a player in a better position, and then gives the ball away to Ryan O'Dwyer. Poor play by Galway. He did the hard bit, and equally poor play by Ryan O'Dwyer.
A bit for 5 minutes and try and just stop the space and cut it down, because Dublin have they have plenty space to knock the ball into, and they're really putting the Galway defence under pressure.
James Skehill's kick out is aimed at his half backline, but it's not working, and here comes Dublin again, laying it off. Ferris Paul Ryan does a shot. Oh, brilliant goal! Paul Ryan, 118 in the last 3 matches. He scored 1-3 in this Leinster hurling final. And now look at the scoreboard. Wonderful play by Dublin, created by Dotsy O'Callaghan. It was a rocket, which James Skehill couldn't stop.
Well, I think he was watching there again, and Dotsy O'Callaghan made all the play. Lovely little pass to Paul Ryan. He backed himself from outside the 20-metre line, but I think James Skehill will be a bit disappointed. He should have stood up there and let the ball
to be the sharper.
Yeah, much sharper, Marty, and they're making hay there. There's loads of space in front of their full forward line, and they're really making hay. As I said, Dotsy O'Callaghan a turn on the side. I'm surprised that Galway haven't made the switch.
Conal Keaney feeds Ryan O'Dwyer. There was a little jink from O'Dwyer, gave himself a little bit of space, and that is his 2nd point in the match, much to the delight of Hill 16.
A lovely point again from Dublin, but I'm surprised that maybe they Galway have Johnny Cohen marking Sutcliffe. I'm surprised that he doesn't that he doesn't pick up Dotsy O'Callaghan. Fergal Moore moving to the other side and maybe block up the hole in front of the goal, as Kevin Hines is following his man out as well. There's a huge amount of space in front of Dublin full forward line.
Irla Tanya, David Collins, one of 6 Galway All-Stars from last year, and they'll need every one of them to get this game out of the fire. David Burke is fouled by Danny Sutcliffe, and David Burke put the hurl there into the tummy of Danny Sutcliffe, and that's a yellow card for David Burke. Totally unnecessary by David Burke. And Johnny Ryan immediately reacted and showed a yellow card. David Burke explains, but I think at this stage he should just walk away. Here it is.
Well, Marty, I can't see the sense of that. Your team is 9 points down. You've got a free, which your back plan how to negate the tactics that Dublin have.
Shane Kavanagh again winning the ball, laying it off for Cyril Donlan. Galway need to find their rhythm. One man who can give them that leadership is Joe Canning. That's his 3rd point of the game. Giving words of encouragement to his colleagues.
Yeah, nice score from Joe there, just simple enough. He looked up, I think, watching to see was there anybody inside him, but he decided, well.
Caffrey gives it back for Stephen Heine. who in turn gives it to McCaffrey. And that is looking awesome. Simple, really simple play by Dublin, but awfully impressive. It's his second point of the game.
Second point, Marty, and that's that's a tactic now, quick sideline, and you get the return, and excellent play from Dublin. But as I said earlier, Galway don't seem to be at the correct championship pace at all.
Really good thinking by McCaffrey and Stephen Heining. This is a blood substitute. This is Mark Schutte, a player until October 11th next. Takes the free. He's Mr. Consistency when it comes.
But they'll be looking for a consolation score from Joe Canning, but will be important nonetheless.
Looks at the posts. Here comes the shot. And the umpires are having a doubt. Are we going to see Hawkeye? They've decided to wave the flag. It's an opportunity for referee Johnny Ryan and his umpire team first to consult and also perhaps to call in Hawkeye. Yes, Hawkeye is now being called in by Johnny Ryan. First Leinster final since being introduced. First time being used.
Well, that's a sensible decision, Marty. If there's any, the points are important in a Leinster final, and it is important to use the technology when you have it.
Here comes the result. Are the umpires correct? It's a miss. Ball is wide.
Points. Michael Duignan and Tomás Mulcahy are here with me in studio. Tomás, you'd have to say, on the evidence of what we've seen so far, 52 years since Dublin won that Leinster title, that gap could be about to close.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're definitely getting the benefit of the last couple of weeks with their matches, but more importantly, they've come with a game plan. They've kept it very, very tight at the back, and they've used the ball. You can come with a game plan, and it could go after 2 minutes, and you need to go to plan B. But they've come with a game plan that they've worked on, obviously, over the last couple of months, because everybody knows what's happening when they get possession. And when you close up in defence, it's not just about lashing the ball up the field because you have a spare man back there or you have an extra man back there, but you must give proper ball to your forwards. And that's what they've done in the first half.
Has this been a display of a team that's up to speed, Dublin, against a team that hasn't done much for the last number of weeks?
Well, to be honest, Michael, Galway are absolutely rubbish. I mean, that's the worst Galway display I've seen for a long time. They've come into their second Leinster final, an opportunity to get into an All-Ireland semi-final, and they've sauntered around the field. I mean, up front, I don't know what they're doing, because I think every one of those 6 forwards has actually been played in a different position within that 35 minutes. No one has actually settled into their position. Joe Canning, we saw in the first couple of minutes, got a ball at the edge of the square that was lobbed in high. He caught it over in front of Peter Kelly, turned it over the bar. Next time we see him, he's out right half forward. He's gone to centre forward now. He's gone back into full forward. Cooney has come back in and out. Nobody has been left settled, and they've had an amazing amount of wides. They're like a team that were put together overnight. I mean, this is a team that contested unbelievable championships last year and got to an All-Ireland final.
You have to give Dublin credit. I mean, as Tomás said, they've been right on the money. They've been working hard. They've been taking their points. They've been so impressive the way they've been taking points from all over the field, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't think it's as simple as say that.
This is a difficult free now for Joe Canning, but Andy Smith coming to midfield, he's a battler more than a scorer, so they'll be expecting him to get stuck in, but very, very important chance now for Joe Canning, near enough to the place where he equalised in the All-Ireland final last year.
Here comes the shot, and that is over the bar. Particular ball, a hit of Michael Carton, and he does. So much better at the edge of the square. Canning! That is a magnificent score. His 6th of the game. And why, oh why, don't Galway play him at full forward all the time?
Well, maybe it's a case of why doesn't Joe stay in there, I'm not quite sure, but he looked at on to lose that ball, Marty. Beautiful flick, took it away from Michael Carton, and a great score from the left-hand side. That'll give them a bit of heart.
Ball comes down towards Johnny McCaffrey, lays it off, fires Michael Carton, 29-year-old fireman, sends it down towards Paul Ryan. Scored 1-3 in the first half, and this is going to make it 1-4. He's proving quite a handful for Kevin Hines in that Galway full-back line.
Yeah, well, Kevin Hines needs to get out shoulder to shoulder with a Marty, or even stand in front of him. That's 2 or 3 balls that have come in on. Paul Ryan have won them comfortably. Very good score, and one that guy Dublin needed to get back into it.
Breaking ball. Paul Ryan on his own 65-metre line. It's going all the way. 1 goal and 5 points for Paul. Dotson Callahan was claiming to David Collins. Sends it out for his Andy Smith. Giving it long. Coming across is Peter Kelly. Joe Canning arriving to put in the challenge. Good play by the Dublin full-back, showing a lot of courage and conviction. Lays it off for Stephen Heine. Heine well surrounded by David Glennon and Canning, but the ball is cleared. Wonderful catch by Conal Keaney. Keaney's effort comes for his Paul Ryan. Gets away. Here's goal number 2. Absolutely magical. No doubt. James Scarl had no chance. Whatever about the first, the second was an absolute rocket. Watch this for sheer, utter class. His name is Paul Ryan. His shot is unstoppable.
Well, you can see there, Kevin Hines again was caught behind him, and he's been troubling him all day. I made that point earlier. You know, the fullback needs to be in front of his man, or at least shoulder to shoulder. Left him in front, and once Paul Ryan went around him, there was only one, there was no question of where it was going. Superb goal, and that's his second goal. Brilliant. This was brilliant.
Sideline ball. And he's like a teenager out there, despite being 30 years of age. And there he is again. Giving it back first, Michael Carton. Flinging it in. Has it the legs. Fantastic. Michael Carton. What a score. Scored twice against Wexford in the drawn game. And he tops it off. It was created first by a magnificent catch by Conal Keaney.
Yeah, great vision by Keaney just to hold the ball, and good support play from Michael Carton, and that's something that Galway aren't able to deal with, the support play of Galway. Dublin obviously seem to have an extra man.
Here comes Joe Canning. What can he do from there? Shot blocked on this occasion by Peter Kelly. He has the rebound, he's fouled, and that's going to be a free for Galway. There's a little bit of the sense that there's a movement of the free in to a more central position.
Yeah, well, we see the good block down there by Peter Kelly, and it rebounded to Joe. Yeah, that was a free there first of all, but when he got through, he was fouled, and then Johnny Ryan moved the ball across because I think one of the Dublin defenders just interfered with Joe Canning again, so it's more centrally, and no marks for guessing what he's going to do here, Marty.
Has to be a goal.
Huge psychological blow if Dublin stop it.
Here's Canning. And Dublin do stop it. Chasing after this, Davy Glennon. Has to go back outside, but is intercepted. Good reading of the game by Joey Boland. Flings it up towards Dotsie O'Callaghan. Going back to gather it is Shane Kavanagh. In hot pursuit is Ryan O'Dwyer. Kavanagh, solid at centre back, is fouled by Ryan O'Dwyer, and that is a free out for Galway. And Ryan is not shy about giving his opinion about that free to Shane Kavanagh.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Marty. Dublin, they probably have this game on at this stage, but Ryan O'Dwyer, we saw the stop again. But Ryan O'Dwyer gives away on Galway.
Ball is dropping in. Joe Canning got a touchdown, but good save by Gary Maguire. Came off his line. Galway retained possession. They're going to try again, and this time happy enough to take the point. But a brilliant save by Gary Maguire, who anticipated and came off his line quickly and effectively.
Yeah, you just see the ball coming in there, and David Burke got to it, and Gary Maguire at the same time. Good stop there by the keeper. And a good score there by
Corcoran gives it back. Galway pursue. Corcoran retrieves the situation. Did well. Paul Ryan lays it off. Pretty sure he didn't lay it off accidentally. Dotsie O'Callaghan takes his chance to score his 4th point of the game. 2 goals and 16 points for Dublin, 10 points for Galway.
Yeah, ball came out, Dotsie O'Callaghan.
Dual star, 7 years out of hurling, concentrating on football. And ironically enough, Conal Keaney's dad, Sylvie, is from Galway. Ball comes down towards Conor Cooney. Niall Corcoran looks on as Cooney drives this in, and that is over the bar. Good score by Conor Cooney, his second this Leinster final.
Yeah, second point for Conor Cooney, but you know, not the best of responses, I suppose, where Galway are concerned.
Players look to be giving up the chase. Paul Ryan, not the worst of that particular exchange. Once again, it's Damien Hayes adding a little bit of buzz and energy to the half-forward line. Here's Joe Canning. Leadership required, goal required. And he brings Galway back into the Leinster final. And the tribesmen badly needed it. And it's no fluke that it's the Portumna dynamic duo that do it. Long ball from Damien Hayes. Canning had to work so hard here. First to gather the ball and then find the back of the net.
Yeah, well, Damien Hayes had a good look to see where Joe Canning was. I thought he was going to knock it into Jonathan Glynn. He looked to where Joe Canning was, knocked it in. Joe had a lot of work to do, let's be honest, you know, but took it on. There was only one thing in his mind, and when he got through, well, bang. You know, that brings Galway back in the game, and the crowd are responding now. Important for the next few minutes that they deprive Dublin of any scores.
Now, will that inspire the Leinster champions of 2012? Can Dublin find their rhythm again after conceding that to that Joe Canning goal? Johnny McCaffrey. First to the ball, however, is Fergal Moore, showing tremendous leadership, battling hard, sometimes against the odds there. Shane Kavanagh is there, so too is Dotsie O'Callaghan. Andy Smith is the number 19, he's the one that gathers it, comes bursting out, tries to make a bit of room for himself. Johnny Cohen is available. He gives the pass, and the sliotar away, and Ryan O'Dwyer takes full advantage for his third point of the game. After all of Andy Smith's hard work, it was a simple hand pass to Johnny Cohen. He went for distance. Here comes Ryan O'Dwyer, steps by Johnny Cohen, scores his third point.
Galway management will be cracking up with that one. You know, simple top pass out to Johnny Cohen, who had made a run, and you know, straight past the Ryan O'Dwyer, and a point for Dublin.
Anthony Daly along the sideline, touched along the ground by Danny Suckler.
Well, David Tracy didn't score, but he had very, very high work rate, and McCormack is a very speedy player, so maybe in the last 20 minutes they're hoping that there'll be space opens up, that he'll do a bit of damage.
Great catch by Andy Smith, sending it down towards Joe Canning and company. David Burke, oh my word! Take that one out. You thought Galway were gone home. They're not. An absolute cracker by David Burke. He did it last year in the Leinster final, and he's done it again. Created by wonderful fielding by Andy Smith. He drove it in long. David Burke picked it up and let go. An absolute bullet.
Well, from 22 metres out on the run with your left hand into the corner, that puts an entirely different complexion on things now, Marty. 6 points down, and if they can deprive Dublin from a score or two and get a point or two themselves, well, the game will be in the melting pot for the final quarter of an hour.
David Collins, pass is intercepted, and Joey Boland puts it between the posts. A vital interception and a most important score, just when the momentum was swinging Galway's way. Dublin introducing Oisín Goff, another Coola man, who's coming on for Paul Schutte. So Coola man for Coola man here. He's the player that's down injured. Coola, of course, a great club that have produced Niall Corcoran under pressure. Damien Hayes, hand pass out towards David Burke. The challenge was just a little bit later on.
5 points between them, possibly now down to 4, and that puts pressure on defences.
Bounced this over the bar. That's a goal and 7 points for Joe Canning. This is the goal again. Watch this for sheer magic from David Burke.
Exceptional strike, Marty, right into the corner. Fantastic.
6 points between the teams. They didn't win the Leinster title by fluke last year. Remember, they beat the great Kilkenny team. And Galway have shown that they have the bottle for the battle. Joe Canning inspiring them from full forward. Another substitute for Dublin. Shane Durkin is coming on for Johnny McCaffrey in the middle of the field. Plenty of time for Galway to pull this out of the fire.
Well, I suppose, Marty, Andy Smith has made a bit of a difference. You know, he's very competitive type of player, but that time the ball he sent along the ground, difficult for Joe Canning. He might be better off leaving it in high, where Jonathan Glynn and Joe Canning seem to have the edge on their markers under the high ball.
Plenty of action tonight, of course, on the Sunday game. But, you can enjoy all the action at 9:30 on RTE2, the Munster football final, the Leinster hurling final. And we certainly don't know the result of that one yet. It looked like Dublin. And then come Damien Hayes into the action. All the way out towards Niall Burke, trying to get inside the defending of Oisín Goff. Flicking it away. Rhino Dwyer taking a little bit too much out of it. Coming into the action, Shane Durkin spraying that ball over to the far over side. Won fairly and squarely by Fergal Moore. Johnny Cohen looks around at the options. Didn't take the right one. Michael Carton calling for it in the centre. Shane Durkin drives it in towards Dotsy O'Callaghan. Won superbly and cleanly by Kevin Hines. He gives it to Fergal Moore. Sarsfield's man to a Turlock Moore play. Won superbly. And laid off first Conal Keaney. Stephen Heine available. Flicking it into the middle, Rhino Dwyer. Dublin trying to control matters. Using the hand pass effectively. Conal Keaney's effort is right at the post for his 8th wide of the game. 12 minutes left in this pulsating Leinster. Nobody there in a maroon and white. But who's there? Conal Keaney. And Keaney provides the leadership. In the tightest of battles, real men stand up. Look no further in the city and the metropolis of Dublin than this man, Conal Keaney.
Yeah, in the right place at the right time, Marty. But Shane Kavanagh there, big mistake really, because all he had to do was pop it back to scale, and that clearance could have been 90 yards and pick out a Galway player. So Galway guilty there of the defensive slip-ups.
9 minutes left in this Leinster final. Johnny Cohen, as we saw him so many times, clearing so much ball in that corner of the field. Down for his Aidan Harton, dropping it in for his Joe Canning. Peter Kelly. Canning fouls. Kelly wins this free. And the Lucan Sarsfield's man has played really solid at full-back, despite marking this man.
Well, that ball just dropped in there, and Jonathan Glynn just fell over, breaking with the Peter Kelly, and a good free out. But Marty, you often find that, Dublin have had 3 or 4 tough championship matches.
Dropping down again towards Rhino Dwyer. Knocked away. Andy Smith has played really well since introduced and has made a substantial difference. Good ball. Down fires Niall Burke. In the centre, there's a chance here as Galway open up. The Dublin defence. Good play on this occasion by Jonathan Glenn, going through the middle. Could have, should have been a goal.
Yeah, knocked it over the bar, but the crowd will be disappointed with that. Did everything right. If he could have kept it low, it was a sure goal.
Angus Callanan is on, Liam Mellow's club in Galway City. And he's coming on for Joseph Cooney. So changes in the Galway defence. Callanan normally plays in the half-back line or indeed the half-forward line. Puck out, knocked away by David Collins, far as Conor Cooney. Good layoff by Joe Canning. Niall Burke turning left and right. Damien Hayes is there. Galway man inside. Available. Didn't work out, however, on this occasion for Angus Callanan. And Dublin survive, just about. Oisín Goff is the 19. Shane Durkin is the 18. Stephen Heine gives it back for his Durkin, who did well to keep it in and survives by maintaining a little bit of nice footwork. In the centre, it's Liam Rush batting it away as far as Joey Boland. He looks up at the Davin end of the goalpost. It's 2 against 2 up here. It could favour Dublin. Knocked away on this occasion by Kevin Hines. But Dublin chase after it and pursue it. There's a chance here for Mark Schutte. Oh, what a save by James Skehill. And Galway are still in the Leinster final. Such drama, nerve-tingling, heart-stopping. Conal Keaney battling with Damien Hayes. David Burke will be remembered for some spectacular goals in Croke Park. Ball inside first, Joe Canning. Great hands, great shot. What a save! Gary Maguire. One end, James Skehill. Next end, Gary Maguire. You can't take your eyes off this match. It suddenly turned into a championship thriller. It looked like Dublin's first title since 1961. Home and host. 10 minutes into the second half. But what a fight back by Galway. Dublin keep the pressure on the Galway defence. Long ball from Liam Rush. There's a chance here for Mark Schutte. And once again, Skehill stands firm and solid between the posts. Wonderful, wonderful passage of play. Comes out for Shane Kavanagh. Trying to get past Ryan O'Dwyer. Good pressure. O'Dwyer lays it off. Shane Durkin, again, who's played really, really well. Losing it, gives it back this time for Ryan O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer looks, and that's great vision. Good play. Over there is Joey Boland. Diagonal ball back into the corner. Should be a Galway defenders to control. That's Fergal Moore. Lays it off. Far as Aidan Hart. Far as David Collins. And the ball flung down into the middle. But there's nobody there for Galway. Liam Rush. Far as Conal Keaney. Far as Oisín Goff. Trying to get inside the cover. There's Shane Durkin getting inside the cover of Conor Cooney. There's a chance here for Dublin. And it's sailing left and wide. Well, the umpire, first of all, it looked like he was going for his flag. And once again, for the second time, Hawkeye is called into operation here by the referee, Johnny Ryan.
Conor McCormack, Marty was adamant that had gone over, and I think again Johnny Ryan making the right decision. It's a crucial score for Dublin. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's a point. Conor McCormack gets the score. But once again, what Donald O'Grady said earlier, what a fantastic facility to have here at Croke Park.
Well, I'm in favour of technology, all sorts of technology, Marty. Really, I think that, you know, if there's crucial scores, square balls, I think if we have the technology, we should use it.
Simon Lambert coming on for Ryan O'Dwyer. In fact, that substitution has taken place. Shane Durkin, diagonal ball. Johnny Cohen underneath it. Won back superbly by Conor McCormack. He used to be a goalkeeper, but he's now a forward, and he's making an impression. This is a great run by McCormack. The layoff is simple. There's a chance. Oh! It's gone over the crossbar. Simon Lambert, who's just been introduced for Ryan O'Dwyer. None of us really knew whether it was under or over the crossbar, but it was over.
Well, he didn't realise, Marty, that he had such time, and you know, if he took his time there, he could have stuck it.
Here comes Conor Cooney. Goals now vital for Galway as we head into the last 3 or 4 minutes. Great defending once again by Dublin. Liam Rush lays it off as Dublin battle their way out from their own half-back line. And it's that man again, Conal Keaney. Wing forward, wing back, former Dublin footballer. Is he on the verge of adding to his 5 Leinster Football Championship medals? But it's been a day for goalkeepers. What about that? Magnificent save by James Skehill. A minute later, look at this. Fantastic. Gary Maguire. And if that wasn't enough, here's another. Again, Skehill. Gary Maguire going to take the free. A wonderful atmosphere in Croke Park. The Hill 16 fans are alive, singing as Paul Ryan puts this over the bar to give him a personal tally of 2 goals and 6 points. On a historic day for Dublin, perhaps.
Yeah, lovely pointing in there from Paul Ryan, just back over the shoulder, right, did everything correctly there, and you know, a few minutes to go now, that gives them you know, a 9-point cushion, so they'll run out winners from here. But great display by Dublin all round, Marty, you'd have to say, right, full of work rate, and I think when they look back at the DVD, Dublin will be thankful to Niall Corcoran, the Galway man himself. He stopped up Niall Burke, stood him up there a couple of minutes ago, and stopped him from getting a goal. If Galway could have got a goal that time, you know, they might have been back in the hunt, but Galway play, you know, the crowds are leaving now, inevitable, and the songs come up from the stands for Dublin.
Galway fans will be disappointed, but they certainly improved their performance in the second period. Ball has dropped in around the house. Mark Schutte is causing a few problems since being introduced. He lays it off for his corner, McCormack, and McCormack gets his second point of the game. Wonderful play by the Ballybowden St Enda's man.
Well, it's been a hallmark, Marty, of Dublin's player all through the game. Their support play there, and McCormack just standing off in the right position, takes the pass and just knocks it over the bar.
Puck out comes down for his Damien Hayes. 2 minutes of additional time has been added on. Underneath the cross, it's Liam Rush. Simon Lambert is waiting for it down in the corner. Shane Durkin trying to seek and find Danny Sutcliffe, and he succeeds in doing so. Sutcliffe takes his points. It's his first point in his Leinster final. He was the man that scored the winning goal against Kilkenny yesterday week. But today his work rate was phenomenal. He skipped away from the Galway defence and took that last point, perhaps the last point in this Leinster final.
Yeah, you could see there Shane Kavanagh, a tired run after him, and Danny Sutcliffe deservedly getting his name on the score sheet.
Stephen Heine lays it back. First Conor McCormack. Ball took a slight deflection. Shane Kavanagh is there, so too is Kevin Hines. With great pressure by Dublin. Here's Danny Sutcliffe. What can he do? Fergal Moore keeping the pressure on. Sutcliffe is there, and there's a free end for Dublin. 71 minutes on the clock. It's been a long, long journey for Dublin since 1961. But right now, at this moment, they are seconds away from their 24th Leinster title.
I know one man at the Dublin, Marty, but I would be expecting you know, a semi-penalty here. I felt that he was pulled down inside the large square, and it won't matter to Paul Ryan. Maybe he'd have a cut himself for a goal here, or he might just knock it over the bar. But either way, he's had to play the starring role for Dublin.
Here's Paul Ryan, and he drives it almost out of Croke Park. 2 goals and 7 points for Paul Ryan on a wonderfully historic day for Dublin. Galway showed their character by battling back, but right now the cheer will be massive when Johnny Ryan, the Tipperary referee, blows the full-time whistle. The wait is almost over. The famine is over for Dublin. It's been a long time, since 1961, 52 years ago. Dublin last won the Leinster Championship 5 years ago. They made a phone call to Anthony Daly, captain of the Clare team in 95 and 97. Would he be interested in taking charge of Dublin? On Hill 16, they rejoice, they applaud. The photographers take their pictures for tomorrow, but you, live on the Sunday game on RT2, are watching history. For Dublin, this has been a remarkable journey. It's the same Dublin team, the same squad, essentially, that won the National Hurling League in 2011, the first since 1939. That was 72 years ago. When they beat Kilkenny last weekend for the first time since 1942, that was 71 years ago. Joe Canning will be disappointed. He scored a goal and 7 points. He gave it his all. Let's hear from them as we join Joanne down the sideline.
Well, one of the biggest heroes today, no doubt, Conall Keaney. Congratulations, you've won it at football level 5 times. How does it feel hearing that and knowing what you're about to collect up there?
Yeah, I think it's been a dream of mine since I was very young, you know, to win the Bob O'Keefe. It's been a long time coming, but all the hard work paid off there today.
To win it, obviously, you take any win, but to win in the style that you won today with that scoreline, it must make it extra sweet.
Yeah, I don't know what the score was, but I don't even think we played particularly too well either. So I think we've a lot in us yet, but we'll take that win and we'll enjoy tonight, and we'll look forward to the next series.
You enjoyed the roars from the hill and from all around Croker with the footballers. What was it like hearing them drive you on today?
That's magical. Look, there's no better supporters in the country than Dublin supporters. And again today, huge crowd here for Dublin hurling, and it's great. And we'll all be here next weekend again for the football. So look, it's going to be a long year for Dublin, hopefully.
How nervy did you get in and around that hour mark today?
I wasn't nervous at all. It was always in the bag.
Will you go up, collect the prize? Well done, Leinster hurling champions, Dublin Conall Keaney.
Yes, indeed, Joanne. It sounds good. Very nice gesture by Martin Scally, chairman of Leinster Council, to ask Jimmy Gray, goalkeeper in the Dublin team in 1961, to present the Bob O'Keefe Trophy and hand over that wonderful honour to John McCaffrey from Lucan, where Dublin are the Leinster champions 2013. Anthony Daly is almost going to shed a tear, because this is probably for him almost as good as Clare in '95.
I mean, nobody has ever questioned how much it meant to you, but it clearly, I think, means more than we even had anticipated.
Joanne, like I get a bit emotional when I hear traditional music. Never mind winning Leinster titles, you know. So that's a great day for everybody involved. It's a great day. Like.
I know that you had to have long discussions and long things about whether or not you'd come back again. You've had some very, very hard days. This, though, must make it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I suppose the Bull McCabe said to the Yank, we stayed. So, you know, it's great. Never really, you know, we always wanted to put last year right, I suppose. You know, we had a decent year in 2012, and you know, for some reason it went downhill last year. We probably worked harder last year than we were doing this year, but maybe the minds are that bit clear. But look, we were lucky to come out of Wexford Park as well, and we got on a bit of momentum, and the lads have been great. Like, you know, they're great. 32 of them there, and you can only line out 26, and out of that 15. So, you know, just so proud of them all. They've made such an effort, and the lads that couldn't be here. You know, some lads have dropped out, missed out, whatever. And you know, John McAvoy, Vinny T, and as well Jim Keelty, they've done so much work over the 5 years as well. Those lads. So, you know, and the lads with me, they've been 100%.
If you look at the way the game went, now we had Conall Keaney earlier saying he didn't think you actually played that well, but it looked like you got everything right. Did everything go exactly the way your game plan had hoped it would?
Well, game plans, I don't know. Game plans are as good as the fellas that carry them out, you know, and I don't really believe in big game plans either, you know. You might bring a man out for a few minutes for a trot and that's about it, but no, look, the lads did great. I mean, Conall himself was outstanding. I mean, when you've guys, when the puck out is taken and that ball is up there to be won, you know. I mean, I had the privilege of playing alongside Sean McMahon, and you know, they're the big plays in games like that, and he came up with a lot of them today, and his old buddy Heine as well, you know, out in his feet at the end, but you know, gave everything, like, and 5 hard weeks, but 5 brilliant weeks.
The dominance around that kind of middle sector played such a big role today, didn't it?
Yeah, like Joey was poor the last night, but he really delivered tonight. Johnny, great work, and like to be able to bring someone like Shane Durkin off the bench, that's tremendous. Like, and I know he won't want to be on the bench, but Shane really, all the subs again, you know, contributed hugely. Oisín Goff first run out of the season, and held the ground there, and it's a good day. Like, you know, we have a few weeks now, probably kill us, but no, we'll enjoy the day or two, and we'll be back training Tuesday night. No, we won't. At least Thursday.
Without expletives, when that Joe Canning goal went in and Galway started to look like they were coming back, what was going through the head?
Well, you know, you have to allow that Joe is a tremendous player, like, and I thought Peter Kelly had a magnificent match for us, but like Joe can still come up with scores, like, you know, Paul Ryan as well, like 2 goals, and I'd be giving out to him for some of the balls, you know, but that's Ryan, I suppose. But look, they did, like, and be able to bring on the likes of Jonathan Glenn, Damien Hayes, you know, fellas like that, Andy Smith. I mean, they're a strong squad, but we felt maybe the momentum would help, John. You know, we had the matches, they had the Laois match, but we felt we were better prepared coming into it, and we hoped to get off to a good start, and we did, even though it was only about 2 points all for a long time, and 2-3, 4 all, but we kicked on there after about 15 and got a bit of a lead, got a bit of momentum, and the old goal came then. It was a great break to get an 8 up at half time. while you felt they would have a period on top, we felt again we would finish strong, and the likes of Max Schutte again at the end. And I mean, Dotsy, what can I say about Dotsy? Probably on the point of giving it up at the end of last year, but just stuck with it, and it's fantastic to get a reward like a Leinster title, like that's the Bob O'Keefe. We'll knock a bit of crack out of it now, John.
Dublin champions, and Anthony Daly, you are the coach of the Leinster champions. I suppose you're dying to get back into the dressing room, so well done. Thanks very much.
Thanks, John.
Well, went down like last year. We had a very poor year, and I suppose everybody's kind of looking at themselves saying, are we wasting our time here? Are we good enough at all? And for the management to come back and the whole backroom staff to come back this year and lay out what they wanted to achieve, and to have fulfilled what we've, to fulfill a Leinster championship so far, is just fantastic, and it's a dream come true, really,
Well, I think Dublin were very sharp today, and they deserved to win. Best team won today. Our performance, it took us a good while to get going. We played quite well in the second half and got back into the game, and then we're denied again there towards the finish. So I suppose the games have stood very clearly to Dublin, and our congratulations to Dublin. We were in this position last year, and they deserved it. They're the best team in Leinster this year, but there's an All-Ireland series there yet, and we'll be taking it from here now.
OK, well, that's very gracious from Anthony Cunningham there. But Liam, it's a good news story. I think a lot of neutrals would enjoy the fact that after so many years Dublin have won it. What did you make of the whole scene? Because you've watched them progress and you've noted it.
Yeah, well, I think it's fantastic for Dublin. I mean, 52 years, what seldom is wonderful. It's fantastic for Dublin. But I think they were improving all the time. I mean, you've seen them the first night against Wexford, and you wouldn't have you've got long odds about them winning the Leinster title on that occasion. They looked to be going out of the Leinster Championship. But all the time they've been, and the draw with Kilkenny was huge, and they got loads of belief. But beating Kilkenny was a huge monkey off the back. And as I said, they came in today, obviously, in saying that, listen, beating Wexford, beating Kilkenny, it's all about winning a Leinster title. And they really brought a huge amount of hunger and intensity to their play today. They were fantastic, fantastic.
And Donloe, to you, what does it mean? Does it mean anything to Dublin winning like that?
Yeah, I think to all hurling people around the country, today is a landmark day. I think, everybody will be delighted for Dublin. I think, when you even see the likes of Jimmy Gray presenting the cup today, which was a nice touch out of Leinster Council, I think of people like the much storied Des Ferguson, and the passion that he's got for Dublin hurling and how proud they must have felt today. And I also think of, the young lad or the young girl carrying a hurley around Dublin that, any time I see it when I'm driving through the city, it does my heart good, to be honest. And, tomorrow there'll be an extra spring in their step, whereas maybe a couple of years ago they may have been even laughed at carrying a hurley around the city. Yeah,
the summer camps will be busy, I'd imagine, tomorrow. One of the tweets I enjoyed most was Daly picked up some good players at the Red Cow this morning, which is a reference to the bad days. But look, let's go through it then. You were particularly impressed with the spread of scoring.
Yeah, I think, they had real firepower in their forward line today. They had 10 different scores on the score sheet, which is a fantastic achievement, really, And, there's guys like, David O'Callaghan and Dotsy, he probably said it earlier on. He didn't have a good season last year. He picked up 4 fantastic points in playing. Paul Ryan was a revelation on the edge of the square today. Again, a guy that was taken off in the early stages of their first match, and he just turned it on again today. And this guy Conal Keeney, I thought, covered every blade of grass around the middle and was all the time supporting his midfields and a half back line. Vitally important. But I mean, this goal is absolute class. But Paul Ryan takes the ball on the turn, and he's brave. You have to hand it to him. He got 2 goals today. When he sees the chance of a goal, he goes for it. He's not afraid to take it on, and finished with a fantastic tally today. So overall, Dublin's firepower was really, really impressive. 225, 222 from play. Fantastic.
All right, and Donloe, being a goalkeeper, obviously you took note of the goalkeepers today. You were commenting to us about it.
Yeah, I think defensively, Dublin were outstanding today. I think both sets of goalkeepers maybe, pulled off some great saves. But I think the overall defence of Dublin was really, really impressive. If you look at this play here, you've got Peter Kelly, Niall Corcoran. Doesn't take the easy option of driving the ball as long as he can. Shows great composure to work the ball out the field and give an opportunity to get it in towards the inside line. And you see a score resulting from that. I think if Dublin are to progress, composure is vital. You see Gary Maguire here hitting 2 short puckouts under pressure. They're top class, and this is a Leinster final that these guys are playing in, and that's the type of composure they'll need. Again, that touch back there was something special from Michael Carton and great composure. And this piece, the last bit, Niall Corcoran facing his own goals, bad position to be in. You'd be tempted to just drive the ball out the field, but no, again, he keeps that composure. And as I said, there's bigger days that are coming for Dublin, and if they are to get to the Holy Grail, if you like, they'll need that type of composure.
Are Dublin top 4 now in your book?
Yeah, well, look, they're there. And to dare is to do is the attitude that they need to carry. You know, they've got an absolutely great opportunity, and you know, I know people talk about building and improving every year, but there's no time like the present.
Okay. Galway people wonder where did it go wrong. Now, obviously, Dublin had that series of games that probably gave them an edge. Did you feel that in momentum?
Yeah, well, I guess Galway didn't have much match practice. They had Laois, you know, and they got the easy side of the draw.
Yeah, so the nominees are Conal Keaney. You know, I think he was outstanding today around the field. His strength is absolutely vital. Paul Ryan was, if you like, led the attack and really took things on. You know, when he could have had the chance maybe to go for a point at times, went for the goal. That's the type of courage that's needed. And finally, Peter Kelly. I'm a big fan of this guy. I think that he's been outstanding over the last number of years. There's a couple of leftover right full-backs in the game, but not too many of them. And I think he's been one of the real leaders for Dublin.
Good. Difficult choice then. Who did you go for, Liam?
Yeah, difficult choice. Overall, a really top-class team display by Anthony Daly's team. But in the end, we went for Paul Ryan. He scored 2-4 from play, 2-7 overall. He was the main man for Dublin today and fully deserving of the Man of the Match award in our view.
All right, then. Well, like many other clubs around the country, I'm sure there'll be big celebrations in Ballybowden tonight. In case you don't know, they beat Douglas in Division 1 today, the National Failure Competition in the final. A great achievement. And they had 7 players on the field today for Dublin. So let's hear from Paul.
Paul Ryan, congratulations, 2-6 on your way to winning a Leinster final. It must be a dream come true.
Yeah, I suppose it's a long road that we've travelled. You know, last year getting relegated to Division 2, and then I suppose this year we came through Division 2 by the skin of our teeth, and then we were shown where we actually were by tip. So look, maybe it was a fate that we kind of had, you know, the 4 games. We had a lot of confidence going into this game from the last day. So. Look, today was just, I suppose, magical. Like, you know, we've been dreaming this day for I don't know how long.
Well, you have peaceful and sweet dreams tonight, I think. Congratulations, you are the Etihad RT Man of the Match, Paul Ryan, and Dave Walsh from Etihad is here to give you your award.
Thank you. Well done.
Yeah. Or 225, I think, was it? So that's good shooting for us. We don't normally pass the 117 mark, so we've improved every day we've gone on, and you know, the matches have really stood to us.
It was a huge panel effort. When the subs came on, they also were totally tuned in, obviously.
Yeah, well, Marty, we have 32 at the minute, you know, and we have to pick 26 out of that. That's tough. Picking 15 out of that is tough. And yeah, they did, like the likes of Shane Durkin, really, Conor McCormack, they really hit it, Max Shoot, all of them. And you know, all the other, you know, 6 lads that weren't picked for the 26, they really were positive and really behind the lads all the way. So proud of them all. They deserve their victory.
Well done to you, Anthony Daly, and well done to Dublin, because today, of course, a little bit of history, they won their 24th Leinster Hurling Championship. Back to you, Dave.